The last ride of Mohammed Reza Pahlavi. The sun dipped low over Tehran on January 16, 1979, casting a warm but deceptive glow over the city. Mohammed Reza Pahlavi, the last Shah of Iran, prepared for what would be his final ride through the streets of a crumbling empire. The atmosphere was charged with an energy that felt almost electric, a vivid contrast to the calm he once commanded. A monarch in transition, dressed in a sharp military uniform adorned with medals, the Shah mounted his proud steed, a creature of strength and elegance that mirrored his own aspirations for Iran. This ride was more than a mere journey. It was a flicker of resilience in a time of overwhelming change. Gone were the days of unyielding authority and unwavering loyalty. The streets now echoed with the voices of dissenters, clamoring for freedom from his rule. As he set off, memories surged through his mind. The extravagant celebrations marking the 2500th anniversary of the Persian Empire, the visions of a modernized Iran, and the hopes he had nurtured for years. Yet these memories were tinged with sadness and regret, as he recalled the growing rift between himself and the people. Once revered as a symbol of progress, he now faced the reality of being seen as an oppressor. The streets of Tehran, adorned with posters of his opponents and filled with fervent demonstrators, became a living backdrop to his final moments as ruler. The vibrant bazaars and bustling marketplaces that had once celebrated his reign now lay silent under the weight of revolution. As he rode, he glimpsed familiar faces, some filled with admiration, others with scorn. The dichotomy of loyalty and betrayal was palpable, a swirling tempest of emotions that encompassed the country. Every corner he turned revealed the scars of unrest, burning effigies, people shouting slogans demanding freedom. And down with the Shah, the air was thick with discontent, yet he pressed on, determined to maintain an aura of dignity. This ride was not just an exercise in authority, it was a desperate attempt to connect with a populace that had grown distant. A symbol of resistance as he passed by the grand monuments of his reign, the Shah could feel the weight of history pressing upon him. Each landmark told a story, of progress, of ambition, but also of the deep-seated grievances that had fueled the revolutionary fervor. The once loyal military, now divided, struggled to maintain order, caught between allegiance to their leader and the rising tide of change. In that moment, he recognized the futility of his efforts. This was more than a ride. It was a bittersweet farewell to the dreams he had once held dear. The image of his palace loomed ahead, a fortress now besieged by the very people he had sought to uplift. He felt a pang of sorrow, knowing that he was returning to a sanctuary that would soon feel like a prison. The weight of exile, as the ride concluded and he returned to the palace. A wave of uncertainty washed over him. The realization that this was not just the end of his reign, but potentially the beginning of a harrowing exile, began to sink in. The Shah understood that he was no longer in control. The narrative of Iran was being rewritten, and he was no longer its author. In the days that followed, the Shah would flee his homeland, seeking refuge in foreign lands. His once illustrious reign reduced to a series of fleeting moments and fragmented memories. The ride through Tehran would become a poignant symbol of his downfall, a monarch out of touch with his people, caught in the storm of history. Reflection on legacy. The last ride of Mohammed Reza Pahlavi encapsulated the clash between tradition and modernity, power, and the will of the people. As the sun set that day, it marked not just the end of a monarchy but also the dawn of a new era for Iran, one filled with hope, uncertainty, and the promise of change.